should not. I wasn't expecting him to go that fast. I even turned my light on yet.
Said. Dude, I'm tired, bro. Like, I'm tired, and I've been on the computer all day. This is my third time to film a podcast. Like, I'm exhausted, man. It's okay though. What am I complaining about? Having an awesome life, you know? Yeah. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to Movie Night, episode 129. We watched the Babadook. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Hugh, you look like you're having the best time.
Oh, girls.
Did he paint eyeballs on his eyelids and he's really just asleep?
I don't know if he can hear us.
I never even has headphones on.
Oh crap! I
don't think he knows that we're on the video right
now.
Yeah, I mean, we usually don't jump right into live.
Dude, that was the best thing ever. This is amazing. I thought he was just irritated.
I'm texting him. He's looking at his phone, obviously.
I was like, did I piss off you? Can't quit laughing, bro. Oh man. Oh man, that was awesome.
Yeah. That's off to a good start.
Yeah, that made my day.
Hey there.
Hey, what's up, man?
That legitimately made my day so much better. Thank you. Dude, I was talking and what I said, it genuinely looked like Hugh heard what I said and was like, "Oh, look out of here, man! Like I've had way worse problems." That's so funny, bro. What's up, man? How are you, Hugh?
I'm great. Sorry about that.
We jumped straight to live.
Dude, I was telling them this is my third podcast of the day. Like I'm tired. I have to go to the laundromat tonight after this because our washer's acting up and my wife and child need clothing for tomorrow, and so I'm gonna go do that. It is what it is, man. Cool, man. But yeah, we watched Babadook.
Yep.
And it was your pick, wasn't it, Hugh?
Nope, mine. No,
Chris's. Oh, dude. Why did I think that was Hugh's pick? That doesn't even fit the mold. Like, what am I talking about? Well, anyways, this is like the third time I've seen it, I think. Who is anybody not seen it yet? I can't remember. I know we asked last weekend.
Yeah, that was my first time watching it.
Oh, okay. Josh, you've seen it before?
Yes. I think this is my third watch as well.
Okay. Hugh?
I saw it when it first came out, but it's been a long time.
Dude, it's already like a decade old, man. It's so
2014.
Dude, time is just like zoom.
I know.
Yeah, today was the actual 30th anniversary of Rancid's first album, and I was just like, good grief, dude. That's insane.
Jeez.
Dirty. I was watching Thrashing, and I was like, dude, Thrashing 1986. I was like 8 years old, and now Josh Brolin's 55.
Dude,
yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yo, we agree on something for the first time in the history of our friendship, my friend. Yes, that kid in Babadook. But I mean, that's kind of the idea, I would imagine, is they wanted you to like have like a. So heads up, guys, we're going to talk about this movie. It's 10 years old. If you haven't watched it yet, that's not on us.
Yeah.
They kind of do like a flip, man. He goes from being the most wretched, annoying person on the whole movie to somebody you're like sympathizing and empathizing with. And Gallup, was that New Mexico?
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I was kind of rooting for the Babadook there for a minute.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you have been meaning to rewatch it, give it a rewatch, man. You might think a little different, because all I could think of for the first few days of this movie being on my list was, man, that kid was annoying. And then when I rewatched it, I have 3 children now, and my whole perception is different. Like, yeah, he's annoying. I'm gonna blame that on the mom, dude. She should have just been like, smack, stop it. That would have changed the whole movie. He'd have been
Yeah, that was like the first thing I wrote down was, I'm glad I watched this as a parent and not back in 2014, because I would have absolutely hated that kid. I mean, he wasn't a good kid actor to begin with. I mean, plus, I'm sure they just made him purposefully annoying. But yeah, as a parent, you go, okay, yeah, he's annoying, but I mean, it's kind of on the mom.
I thought he was a fine actor. He acted exactly like a kid. Like he was like a stupid little snotty kid. I mean, that's exact. I felt like they didn't even have an actor. They just had that lady's kid there. And you were just
mean, he was being tormented by a demon, sort of.
That's no excuse, Hugh.
I know.
Yeah.
And then the mom turned out to go absolutely crazy because of it. So maybe it's not on her either.
Wait a minute. Am I tripping? Is that why he was acting out so bad? Because he was actually already being like
Babadooked.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
He had like experienced the Babadook. I was understand. Like when they read the book, it was like unlocking the. No, y'all just thought he was a little asshole the whole time.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. It seemed like he was like,
oh shit,
like he was misbehaving. He was a little like he was born like a little brat. His dad, passed. He was a little snotty kid. He gets the book that unlocks things, and he's seeing it manifest. His mom's like, "Shut up! You're just a little brat kid." And then all of a sudden, the mom's like, "Oh, check it out! I'm really here, fool!" And she's like, "Ah!" And that's the movie.
It's not just because your dad died.
I mean, I'm gonna say I'm sort of in the middle of you two guys because I mean the subtext of the movie is that let's just get that out of the way. It's just like all her depression and grief, like manifesting and, coming to a head, in this like, dire way.
Yep.
So it is something that the kid's been dealing with the whole time. She's, it's 7 years and she's not over the death of her husband. So it definitely influences how she parented him. So
maybe.
Yeah. But it's just gotten to such a head. It's like, it's at that point where it's a physical manifestation of this.
I feel like that's kind of what I was thinking, just from a different viewpoint. I mean, if you want to look at it that way, then you're right. It is him dealing with it, but like the point is, he's a little turd kid, and how he got there almost is almost irrelevant because he's not really the focal point. In like the second act, it becomes her. She starts to be the one that is having all these problems. But like, we all watched Beau is Afraid.
Yep.
It's a comedy.
But I watched that. Did I do a video on that one?
I did a video
on that one. I did a video on that one.
Did?
Yeah, I reviewed it.
Oh, you did? Okay, never mind. I saw it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I had a pretty like surprising response to some people. Hell, I've surprised myself with it, honestly. But I do want to watch it again one of these days. But anyways, like the kid. When I first watched it, I wanted to strangle the kid.
Yeah.
Looking at it now, I'm like, okay, well, when you're not giving the kid attention, that's how they behave. Because if I was to just let Parker go off the rails, that's how he'd behave.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we're all parents, so we've all had those moments with our kids where they're just like, you feel like, why are you being an insane person? Like, why can't you just be normal? Like we've all had those moments. I mean, at least me speaking for myself, I definitely
I have the youngest.
Why? Yeah. And I've definitely had moments with both my kids where I'm just like, why can't you just straighten up for an hour, please?
With the stuff that I'm dealing with Bricken and being autistic and all, like, I've definitely had those points because I don't necessarily understand how his brain works all the way. So I have to really be mindful of the fact that, hey, look, man, his brain ain't working like yours ever. So you better just chill out and learn to cope with it and be patient and understanding and so I have to sometimes he'll have whenever this is actually how we figured out his diagnosis is because he was doing stuff that I was like, what is he doing? I was like, this kid is being crazy. It turns out he's just got a different he's wired a little different and he's got a lot of benefits from it, but it comes with some what's it called? He's really, really anxious, to an extreme degree. It's wild. I'm pretty anxious, dude. That kid's got me beat, man, by a country mile, and it sucks. I have to watch him deal with it, and it's hard. Sometimes it comes back where I'm thinking of my feelings, not his. I'm like, dude, chill. You have to blah 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 blah. And as a parent, you don't have that luxury. You have to be able to step out. Well, I guess some people just don't give a crap, and they do whatever it is they want to do with their kids. But I take pride in my family, and I love my kids as you guys do, and I want to be. And I'm not, bro. I got a lot of work to do still, but I try. I put in the effort.
Yeah. And I mean, in the kid in the movie, literally one does not have his father. And also just doesn't have a mother that's just.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is he doesn't have his father, but his mom's just not there. She's not, dude. She's like, you can just see her. She's just staring off into space like half that movie until things start hitting the fan. Like, then that little girl. Like, do you blame the boy for pushing her? Because I don't. I blame the little girl for being a little brat and being a little kind of girl whose mom also doesn't teach her how to behave to people. Like, what did they think was going to happen when that little girl? But I mean, that was kind of the point. She's like, don't bring your kid around. Like, I get it. Like, bro, I'm telling you, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people in the movie are just kind of crappy, almost.
Yes.
To them almost the whole movie. So I mean, they're constantly battling people that are, you know, I don't know what the right word is, but just quick to go at them, and you know,
they were selfish people. They were self-centered.
Yeah, I mean, but then the mom and the kid obviously aren't equipped to handle, you know, any sort of adversity thrown at them.
Yeah. Well, the kid kind of is. Because he's having to learn it all like on his own. But like, it was funny because the only person in the whole movie that was nice to him was that old lady next door.
Yeah.
And she totally got it. He's like, "Hey, why are you shaking so much?" She's like, "Oh, I'm dealing with the Parkinson's." And then he tells his mom. She gets all mad. And the lady's like, "No, yes, I told him. If you would just tell him, he might stop asking questions because he'd have some answers. Like, if you just give him some attention, he'd have some." He'd feel a little bit better. And it was so on the nose with that without spelling it out. I was really proud of that moment. I thought that was a great moment in the movie because it was spelling it out without spelling it out. It was like, here's an example. If you don't get this example, you're just not going to get it. And then they moved on without going and then having the mom maybe have a talk with the lady and then they explain it that way or something, It was like, here's the example. And I really thought that was great because a lot of movies just keep going with the, over explaining of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very subtle.
That's the word. Thank you. Subtle.
What led you to pick this movie, Chris?
I mean, I just never seen it before, and I mean, it's talked about as the start of the elevated. I hate saying that word, but the elevated horror stuff, and led to.
Why do you hate saying that word?
I don't know. I feel like
it's literally what it's called now.
I know. It is. Like it has just turned into the proper term for it, but.
I'm glad we have a proper term and I don't have to say those movies that suck ass.
But I mean, yeah, it's just kind of what started this whole thing. I feel like over the last 10 or so years.
Yeah. I feel like this one and The Witch and a couple others were definitely the big kickoff.
Yeah. So yeah, I just hadn't seen it.
This was a surprising movie when I first saw it. It scared the crap out of me. Like after we got past the kid.
Yeah. What did y'all think of the monster?
I liked everything about the movie. I rank this one really high.
Yeah, awesome. Me too.
Yeah, I mean, like legit got some creepy moments. I mean, when it talks over and it's creeping in the chalet, it's legit creepy.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, I was just gonna say
go
ahead. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
That was awesome.
Oh, now he's gonna drink.
I'm waiting for you.
Damn it. I was gonna say the monster kind of moved like a cardboard cutout, and I kind of like that.
I like the sort of juddery jankiness of it. Yeah, it was like it's a pretty low budget movie. It's like the director's first film.
$2 million.
Yeah. Okay. That's actually more than I thought.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty small movie.
Unless I read that wrong. I thought that's what it said.
No, you're probably right. But yeah, I mean, they didn't have a special much of a special effects budget, so to just kind of embrace the sort of like more. Well, it comes from a book too. So
I was gonna say, I thought it was because the book was a pop-up book, and that's why I did it that way. I thought it was all on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely, if you had a bigger budget, I could totally see that being more CGI based, though.
Man, I'm glad it wasn't. I think it would have ruined it.
Yeah.
No,
you could feel the like hard work going into this movie on stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the silhouette nature of the monster, the easily hidden in a shadow. It gave you a lot of what's over there. Like it just the whole thing was like you weren't really sure what was what, where was what's happening. A lot of the sound, I turned it up really loud in here and watched it, so like I got to hear some of the cool sound stuff. It was like it was done very well. And I'll be honest, man, I watched it in the middle of the day. I watched it again today. I tried to watch it last night, but my electricity kept flickering for some reason, so I couldn't watch it last night. So I watched it during the day, and I just turned off everything. You know how dark it gets in here, so it felt like a nighttime pretty much. Man, I've seen it twice, and I'm in the middle of the day, and I still was creeped out by this movie. I was like, dude, I like it. Whenever I can get creeped out, and I can physically be turned to a little bit of paranoia or something, I appreciate that, because it doesn't happen often, man. So it's been happening a lot more lately. There's a lot of quality stuff coming out.
Yeah. I don't get like creeped out too much at thing, but this one did it. I mean, I didn't lose any sleep over it, but it definitely creeped out a little bit. I mean, like the one of the original ones I can think of that really got me was The Grudge back in the day.
Really?
Not necessarily a particularly great movie, but just the way they did it was the creepy little kid, and everything was just creepy. And of course, I was, I don't know what year that came out.
I guess if
I
you
was
were
pretty
young
young.
enough, that would be pretty scary.
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw it in the theater, because I think, was it a PG-13? So I probably saw it.
I think Blair Witch Factory did that to me. I was kind of, I really
Blair Witch Factory.
I came home and I was like really looking hard to see if it was true or not. I don't know why I bit that whole thing hook, line, and sinker. And a
lot of people did.
Yeah, gullible me.
Yeah, and
it is true.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Ring too was always one that just had good creepy. I just seemed.
I guess
it was kind of possible, even though
I think I was a little too old.
Yeah,
None of those had me even remotely creeped out. The Blair Witch Project did. Let me reiterate that one, but the Ring and the Grudge and all the J-horror stuff, I just liked them. They had a really great atmosphere. And then the American remakes, I watched the American ones first. Really wasn't too big into those. And then all the Grave Robbers guys out in South Houston that I was hanging out with at the time, they were the ones that were like, no, you need to watch the originals. They're far better. And back then I didn't know there was a big difference in quality. So I was like, oh, okay. And so I would watch them and be like, oh, you're absolutely correct. These are far better movies.
Yeah.
It's so strange. You have the same exact story and just a extremely wide, difference.
Yeah. Those ones are so much more atmospheric and
it's all style with those, man. It's all style, and the American ones are just like knockoffs. It's really frustrating because we make good movies over here. What the hell are they doing with this, man? I couldn't believe it. I was really surprised.
I think both those movies wrecked my kids up. I mean,
really,
they were a mess, from The Ring especially.
Well, we just watched One Missed Call the other day too, which was kind of part of that cycle too, and I was like, man, this is one of the creepiest things I've seen in a long time.
I kept hearing from people when I mentioned that one on the show that, oh, it's just a Ring knockoff, and I'm like, all right, dude, look, if that's a knockoff of The Ring, it is a superior movie. I'm sorry, dude. Like, what? Just because you came first doesn't mean you're the best. We've said that a million times on this channel. Like, that movie is and The Ring's a good movie, but dude, One Missed Call is good. Like, it's a creepy movie, bro. I mean, how quick did we go buy those movies? We were like, let's get it. We're walking out of the theater like, we need to buy this. Like, that didn't happen with The Ring.
First time I got excited about one of the graveyard shifts
in a while.
Yeah.
True.
Like, that was a true discovery there.
Yes. That's the one I missed.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, not that one.
You still got to watch it, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. I need
you haven't seen that movie at all yet?
No, I'll watch it.
Man,
especially after we talked about it.
At your house, man, and watch that one.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, I got the Arrow Blu-ray. Did you say we talked about that as if I'm going to remember that?
No, I'm just pointing it out. I mean, all of y'all pretty much raved about it after y'all watched it. So like, God damn, man, I missed a good one.
Yeah,
surprisingly good.
I hate it when one of us misses one and it's a good one. That happens to me too.
Yeah,
but I thought the Babadook was really a good scary movie, man. I think I might want to get Bricken to watch that one and see how he feels about it. I don't know that he'll even make it. Well, he's gotten pretty good at this. I think he might. Charlie ain't no way, bro. Should have been 20 minutes in. Like, nah, man, get me out of here. I want to go watch Trolls. Like,
well, I mean, there's really not that much of the monster. That's what I was gonna say earlier. It's like it's very minimal. You only
That's true.
Even the things you see in the shadows, it's like you don't really see that until like 45 minutes into the movie for the most part.
Yeah. I didn't realize it's so short.
Yeah. Right. It's like 93 minutes or something.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, everything about it was, I thought, done in a very, it was done well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost black and white.
Thank you, dude. Thank you. The house, bro. What's up with everything being painted that like weird blue-gray color? The whole house was that color.
The house, I mean, if we want to get into like into metaphor, the house is the inside of her head. Like,
okay, well, bro, I don't think like that.
Do it.
Yeah, I mean that's something I was kind of saving too. Was, I mean, I'm not sure like the monster was even real.
No,
it's all just metaphor.
Oh, I didn't think it was real.
Grief.
This is all metaphor. Yeah.
But I will say that, like, I don't catch things like that. Like, I wouldn't, but when I was watching it, I was like, okay, there's a reason why everything is this exact same shade of blue. And I was thinking maybe it was like reflecting her depression, kind of, which is essentially what you're saying. But like what you said is like, but like I was just thinking, because when I first noticed it, I was like, oh, it's so ugly. And then I was like, oh, and then I realized that the stairs were painted that color, and I thought, oh.
She's trapped inside her head. It's like this depressing, basically black and white, just absolutely miserable. Muted. And the insects coming out of the walls and all that stuff is part of it. It's like her mind decaying, her mental illness essentially.
Yeah, that movie was.
I mean, how do you interpret the ending of her just like putting it away in the closet?
That you don't ever get rid of your mental illness, you never get rid of your grief or your depression, but you learn how to cope with it and manage it.
That's kind of what I was thinking. It was that whenever the movie ended, it was her.
I think it's
accepting it.
That ending is what makes the movie for me. Like that final point, that message at the end for me is what like kind of elevates it. For me, because that's so true. Like those things don't ever go away. You lock them down in the basement, but you go visit them every once in a while, but you keep them under control.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way I took it. Was just, you're learning to live with your whatever it is. I only watch it once, but just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Since y'all have seen it a few more times.
Well, I mean, I saw it a long time ago. I just remember not liking the kid and being creepy.
What do you think about that, Hugh?
I feel like I must have missed it with this movie somehow. Like I didn't get the metaphors much. I mean, I sort of was just all surface level. I don't know why. And I'm surprised because normally I try and read into stuff. Maybe my mind is like somewhere else, but now I totally see it when you spell it out like that. And I'm like, oh shit, duh. Like, I don't know, man.
Welcome to my world, Hugh. This is every single time we watch a movie, buddy.
I was just like, well, the monster and, what's her problem kind of, she was having a meltdown. I thought because she was tormented by this monster, not necessarily that it was her mental illness. I mean, but I guess now it's obvious because all the crap scattered all over a kitchen table when CPS came in to visit or whatever. And, she was coming apart because the bugs, like you said, there wasn't actually a hole in the wall. She just was, having a schizo moment or something.
Her tooth is like she's got this tooth pain the whole time. She's rotting from the inside out. It's like it's all.
So the sad part to me was I think at some point I realized that she was a danger to her child, and like why, if you're a danger to your child, like why don't you try and manage that somehow?
You think she knew that?
I mean, extreme denial, man. She just snapped the dog's neck, and I was kind of like, man. Swallow your pride and maybe call somebody and be like, I need some help.
I don't think that she knew. I mean,
it's very possible too.
I've known quite a few people that have like some severe mental situations going on, and they give you reasons for everything, man. Like, oh well, like I know, I shouldn't have done that to the dog, but like. Man, it started growling at me, acting funny, dude. Like, I'll give him another dog. It'll be all right. It's just like, man, that was crazy, though. You saw him growling at me, right? And you're like, bro, I wasn't even in the room. And that's true, man. And then,
like when she snaps at the kid, like I felt that so hard because I've been there. Like you just have like an absolute terrible day, and then you immediately regret it, but you're just like, leave me alone.
Man. I was feeling some kind of way during that scene. I felt like I owed my kids an apology and I didn't even do anything. I was like,
but we've all been there and we can all relate to it. Like I feel that in my bones, man.
Well, she obviously discovers some way to manage it in the middle of a breakdown, right? And she somehow shuts down the Babadook through self-talk or something and locks it up. But it's nothing, real magical.
So they didn't die, and just that wasn't even real. Like, okay, I misread the end of that movie bad.
Wait, die?
Die? What do you mean?
I don't know, man. I didn't feel like she actually was able to. It didn't seem to me like that was even real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I see that, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is all. I feel like this is all a mental struggle, like inside.
Okay, so
her
she
head.
didn't really get it under control then. That's what I'm saying. I'm
no,
saying, like,
I mean, I think she did. Like, that was the big conclusion.
Yeah.
I need to go back and rewatch like the last 10 minutes or so of it, or 15 minutes. Then
this is her journey to like get to that place we're talking about, where you learn how to deal with your problem.
No. I know that. My point was that did that actually happen? It didn't seem like it did to me. Like,
I mean,
like I said, I just need to go back and rewatch it. It's fine.
I feel like that ultimately doesn't matter. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's all,
that's also true.
Yeah, it's like it's whether it's real or all in her head. It's like just what.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
what she's going through.
It's a bit like Beau is Afraid, where what you see on screen is what is in her head. But like at the end when they show like the dog buried in the garden, it's like, okay, well, like something went down, like something actually did happen. I took that as really happened. But yeah, I mean, like, obviously you didn't get rid of the monster. It's just,
well, I got a movie for you to watch, bud.
Uh-oh.
Called The Babadook. Yeah, you want to watch with me soon?
Maybe.
It's scary. I'll see you later, dude. Have a good night, buddy.
Good night.
But,
he's like, well, I don't know about you, Dad. You're over here trying to trick me.
Yeah.
To anybody watching, if you ever have thoughts of hurting your child or yourself, like, just go ahead and call somebody, get some help. Like, don't leave that to fester.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of what I brought up earlier about just like everybody kind of being crappy to him, I think she just felt like that there was really nowhere she could go. The school was kind of not really that supportive, and her sister wasn't very supportive. So,
man, I don't know. I'm not buying that, dude. Because listen to what the school dude says to her. He's like, how many? He's like, you expect us to put every other kid at risk because your kid's not behaving right? Like, I don't like that whole. It's everybody else's fault, not mine. I hate that shit, man.
But I think that's part of like where she's at mentally, that she's taking that as no one is trying to help her. And like you said, they're not wrong about any of that. I mean, they got to look out for the entire school, but she's in such a bad place that she just takes that as everybody's against her. There's nowhere she can go. Nobody's going to help her. Like, this just contributes to her spiraling further down.
And I feel like that's how she feels, even though I feel like they make a point of inserting a couple small characters into the movie, like her coworker at the nursing home and the next door neighbor that do like one of the last scenes of the movie is the neighbor coming over and saying, I care about you. You know? So it's her isolating herself despite,
that's kind of how I felt, that she was doing it to herself. And this is a thing that in real life that I have a serious problem with. Like, I absolutely can't stand it. That's all I hear all the time is I can't get nobody to do blank for me, and nobody blank for me. Nobody care. Bro, get up off your ass and do it yourself. Like, how much have I had to fight for my job? How much have I had to fight to keep friends? How much have I had to fight to stay away from people that weren't good for me? Dude, it is what it is, man.
It's so easy to wallow in your misery, though. Like,
so it's a real turnoff for me to watch that stuff. But it's a good way to get people to not like a character as well. I know I'm watching a movie, so maybe I'm supposed to feel that way towards the character. And maybe I'm reading it wrong as well, but that's the way I felt about it, was that she was
I think that's a product of our generation, Randy, and not to exclude anybody or say it's not a product of theirs, but I feel like the message from my growing up was you figure it out, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, be a man, you get on it, dust it off, rub some dirt on it. There was never let me sit here and feel sorry for myself for a while. And
are you saying that as a positive or a negative? I genuinely
I'm saying it like, no, I'm just saying like
maybe as it is. Yeah. It's definitely something. I wasn't sure because that was going to depend on my response was going to depend
on
how
necessarily
you actually
positive, because sometimes I approach things in like a really callous light and people around me are like, dude, chill out. Like you can't be the hammer all the time. Like you gotta just.
But you can, and I'd rather be. I'd rather be that way than be the other way personally, because you're going to get more accomplished ultimately, and I don't want to be blaming other people for my problems, man. I don't. If I have if somebody's a genuine issue, like, I mean, honestly, unfortunately, as an example, at my job, I work hard. There's no reason to not like me up there or have a problem with anything that I'm doing, because all I do is go in there and work hard and perform far and above my requirements, right? So it's really annoying when somebody doesn't have it, like when somebody's like picking on me at work, right? Okay, am I gonna fix it by complaining about it? And I'll tell you guys about it because y'all are my friends, dude. When I get to work, I'm in a good mood. I'm positive. I'm energetic, and I'm trying to do. I gotta make the best out of it. And honestly, it's helping. If I sat around and just went to work every day and I'm constantly, I had to talk to somebody because I had to talk to somebody to save my job, bro. Because I was getting to a point where like I need stuff on record. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even done that. Because like, whatever, man, I'm putting in the work and I'm putting in the effort to make it better, so it's becoming better. You know, it's you can the way I was told, and I don't remember who told me this or when or why, but you can't make somebody else happy. Therefore, somebody else can't make you happy. You can make you happy. You wake up every day, you have a decision to make. Am I going to make this be a good? Now there's always exceptions to every rule, this one included. But for me, I don't suffer from like some severe depression or something. My wife does have depression. She has to take medication and things. So like maybe that's not as easy for her, but there is a choice still to be made. You know, there's a choice to how to react to things. And sometimes she goes and meditates. That's her way of making sure that, okay, I need to center myself because this has been a rough day. And if I don't, I'm going to be angry and I might snap at the kids or at me or whatever. And, you know, that's the steps that an adult takes to go and ensure things. And I work around, this is not the right way to say it. I don't work like not coworkers, but people, you know, that are in the building occasionally that, you know, you can feel it, man. That it's your fault that their day's bad. It's shit. You go to any fast food place or customer service place, you're going to hear it, man. It's the guy behind the counter's fault that this lady bought the wrong size dress. It's the, you know, the dude behind the counter's fault that the cook made some food wrong. Like, bro, it's stop, chill, bro. It's just, it is what it is, man. We can go about it a different way.
Yeah, but nobody's out to get you.
Yeah, to be kind of devil's advocate, you know, you have a series of like very cascading and, you know, just like you're down and then something else happens and you go lower and lower and lower and lower. And it's like life just whoops your ass.
For sure.
And then, for sure. You know, that's a situational type thing, kind of like in this movie where her husband died and her kid's gone crazy and she's gone crazy, and like it's just a domino effect of nasty. So man, like that's when you get on some medication for a little while or something like that, or go talk to somebody. But I mean that, and that's kind of where I was going with this.
Well, that's your decisions to make though. That's how you go and make yourself happier. Is you go get the medication or talk to somebody, you know.
But like, and that's what I was saying about her is like, you know, I felt like she may have needed to take a bit more responsibility for the fact that she wasn't feeling well. And if, you know, if it comes to a point where you're feeling like you may be a danger to yourself or your kid, like then you need to take steps to protect your child ultimately, and then yourself.
Scary.
But like, if you don't know what's going on and you're schizophrenic or whatever, that's a totally different story. There's so many different factors in here when you start to break this down. It's pretty amazing.
That's never been even something I've ever even been around. I don't even have like a response to that, dude. That would be because I am fully aware of the fact that no matter what the scenario, there's always the outlier. There's always an outlier, right? And so
yeah, true that.
I can't imagine having to deal with something that you actually can't control. Like, and it's not as easy as waking up and going, I'm going to be happy today. Maybe you just got evicted. You can't be happy that day, but you can not be a dick to the guy in line at the store is my point. Like, you know, whether or not you're having a good day is almost irrelevant, because why are you going to make this guy's day bad because your day's bad? Like we all
like what you reap what you sow too. So like what you put out into the world is what you get back in a lot of ways.
That pendulum does swing backwards. Absolutely. It does come back your way. That's what I've learned kind of just being, I used to be a lot angrier And honestly, I have, this is the weirdest thing to even say out loud because I think it sometimes, but I've never really said it. I'm kind of grateful for Hurricane Harvey because we got everything taken and I had no control over it. I had zero, I couldn't do nothing about it. There was nothing I could do. I had zero power. I had less than zero power. And so by seeing all that stuff happen and thinking like, oh man, this is just stuff. Life is more important than just things. And this, I got my friends, my mom's safe, my friends are safe. We'll be all right. We'll figure it out. I've been able to, it really changed me as a person. It really did, man. And I'm kind of grateful that it happened to a certain degree because of how I look at things from just from this vantage point. Now, it's like, dude, I'm not, I go to work and I talk to some people and they're like, man, you're always like pretty nice. And I'm like, why would you be anything else? Like, I'm having bad days too, man. We're stressed out. We're broke. We're dealing with stuff that I don't bring it to work, man. You can't go into your job and be like, man, I sure wish I had a little bit more money in my pocket. Well, you're at work. You're going to get that money if you work hard enough. Like, that makes people go, ugh. Like, I might say it to my homie, like, hey, bro, I'm just trying to make that money, bro. That's it. But I'm not like, oh, I'm broke. Like,
that's a choice you got to make every day, though.
Yeah.
Right. To have that attitude.
It's really tough sometimes.
And yeah, definitely. Then just to tie that into the movie, I think that is what the end of the movie is. She has to make that decision.
Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch the last little few minutes of it. I don't know what I missed, but when you said it, I was like, huh? And then you explained it, and I was like, oh, buddy, I missed something. I was like, all right, my bad.
And I think her overcoming this whole, monster, it's not like she pulls out a gun at the end and shoots it or something.
Bro, like, I didn't know where you were going with the gun thing.
I was like,
no. Like, you mean it's not an action movie. It's not like, it's not a real horror movie. It's not like The Thing where they throw dynamite at it. She literally just basically screams at it.
Yeah,
and feeds it maggots too. Like, here's some more shit for you to eat.
All the rotten feelings inside me, I'm just gonna put those in the basement. Those are
she's acknowledging, she's coming to terms with it. She's acknowledging, she needs to do something about it.
Yeah, she it's basically her making that decision, whatever that means. And
it may not be the most like exciting ending, big showdown boss fight type of thing, but it
was funny too because 10 minutes ago, I was thinking I didn't really like the ending, but Josh has literally talked me into appreciating it.
I know, man, me too.
I think that would, like, if she had like literally like pulled out a sword and fought it or something, like that would have been pretty stupid.
Man, I'm all in on that though.
Totally.
Babadook!
This makes a totally different movie, but yeah.
Are we watching Psycho Goreman again?
I like those kind of movies too, but
I'm glad that it ended the way it ended, and I don't usually feel that way, but this movie had no other option to be a good movie. It either ended in a way that's such a downer that I'm like, I don't want to ever watch that again, or because that's the only two choices with this one, buddy. You had to either be a super downer, no like gory middle of the road thing. It's a real bad day at the office, or no, man, we turned it around and we can leave people with a positive message and maybe somebody will learn something from it. I think ultimately that's probably what's going to happen.
And if she had just defeated it at the end and it went away, that would have been disingenuous.
I like the potential for disaster there. Like, hey man, look, this is real life, dude. Really, you just lock these things away and then you try to deal with it in little pieces. Like I talk to the kids even, man. Like, say solving a problem is not as easy as just going, hey, A, B equals C. No, dude. You might throw some numbers in there too and have a weird math problem that you don't quite understand. You got to sit down and figure it all out. You take a piece of it and you fix the piece. You take that piece, then you get a bunch of pieces and make, the larger problem gets solved at that point. Mm-hmm. And dude, being a dad really helps this movie make more sense. Because the first time I watched it, I might have maybe had Bricken. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And maybe I did have the kids. I can't remember, but I don't feel like it didn't feel like it felt now. I can tell you that because when I watched it the first time, I absolutely hated that child. And this one, I remember thinking like, okay, prepare yourself. You're going to hate this kid. And then watching it and going, while I do think he's a little turd, I get it. And I didn't used to feel that way. So,
I think because I missed it all. I don't know why. Sorry.
I was gonna say I think because our kids are getting older now and we're dealing with more of those sorts of situations.
Facts.
You can just sort of relate to it a little bit more. Like, my son was probably like 4 or 5 when I first watched this, but now that he's older and my daughter's older and stuff,
You got
like
a whole ass different voice.
Yeah.
The other night I was like, "Oh, geez,
Yeah.
what's up, Nathan?"
You got man
He's
voice.
13, man.
I was like,
Crazy.
"What? Calm down there, buddy." One day I'll wake up and go, "Hey, Bricken." Well,
It's weird. It's weird.
Oh, dude, I bet it is weird. I went to Charlie's school, or I guess the kids' school, yesterday to do a thing at like 8:30 in the morning. Which, first off, why so early? But they did like a little second grade play thing where they read it off the paper. It was really cute, but I'm filming it, and I guess something about seeing it on the screen, and like I was watching it, but I was also making sure that my daughter was in frame. I saw her like growing up, right? It's like immediately, it was like right in front of me. It was like boom. I was like, she sure is tall. We need to throw a hoodie on. You got a little tank top. I don't like that. Like, no. And I was just like, man, she's sure just out of nowhere, dude. She's just this big ass kid now, man. It's just like, I mean, I've always noticed it, but like, doggone, bro, seeing her like out reading her classmates and like being really friendly and outgoing and everybody liking her. It was just this awesome. I don't know. I'm always, gone during the day when the school stuff happens. So I made a point to get up and go to this because I wanted to be there for her. I messed up though, and I brought her McDonald's, and I wasn't thinking like there's 30 kids in that room. And I walked in with like this McDonald's bag, and everybody's like, "You got McDonald's?" And I'm like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't give this to her." That's like having commissary in prison, man.
Man, once you look up, it's over. You got to try and really try hard to remember that stuff. I look back and I'm like, God, I wish I was a little more present, like sometimes.
So if you notice how often I'm talking about playing with and messing with Parker, it's because even though I was there and I was pretty present, I still feel like I could have done more. And so with him, every single time I get a chance, I touch him, I hold him, I play with him, I tickle him, I rub his head, and I just mess with him and, play with him, talk to him and tickle his feet and play cars, whatever, man, throw the ball at him or something, make him laugh, because I can't throw Charlie and Bricken on the bed no more. They're not small enough. They're way too big for that kind of stuff. So I do that with him every day. And it's not because I'm a superstar. It's because I want to be one day. And I'm trying to get to that point. And it's a constant effort that you have to put in on anything, man, whether it's making a movie, being a parent, whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah. If you don't put the effort in, it ain't going to turn out right. But what are we doing over here talking like we're Dr. Phil and shit?
Therapy session today.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, didn't necessarily know that's what we were in for with this movie, but here we are.
And then my kid. But yeah, man, it was I genuinely really like this movie a lot. I thought I had a copy, and I guess I don't because I couldn't find it. So I'm gonna locate and purchase one. I really thought this movie was excellent, man.
Yeah, I got the second sight 4K from the UK.
Oh wow!
I'm glad I did, man, because like it's dark and just.
I didn't think about that. I should get a 4K, huh?
Everything in this, man, it looked really good.
Oh, you already watched it on the 4K? You already bought it?
Yeah. And that was another reason that I wanted to recommend it because, like, I bought it. It's like I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna buy it, so I'm gonna make myself watch it. It's like, well, let's do it on the show.
That's all 4 of us, dude. I bought it. I have to watch this now. Like,
yeah,
I can't be putting it on the shelf. Hell yeah.
I have a big appreciation for this movie now. I appreciate it. I like that.
Man, I like it when we all kind of have a. It's funny that such a dark movie made us all feel better. It's.
I think it's kind of cathartic at the end. Yeah,
dude. I mean, why you listen to emo music when your girlfriend breaks up with you? It's because it helps you feel better to hear how everybody else's day is shit too. You're like, yeah, I know, man. You know, I mean, like, I listen to angry punk rock music because I was angry. I was angry about stuff, so I listened to things that mimicked my feelings, and I didn't feel alone no more, man. And
I don't even need my girlfriend to break up with me to listen to some emo. That's just,
facts.
It's already on rotation.
That's a true story, actually. I'm over here acting like I didn't just listen to My Chemical Romance because they were good. Oh man, dude. So what we got on the for the plans this week, Josh?
We're gonna do Attack the Block.
Let's go.
What's up, Facebook user?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Have y'all not seen that yet?
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
This movie is bad ass, dude.
I knew you were a fan of it, so
Yeah,
I figured it'd be a winner.
All right, cool. Yeah, I've never seen it. I always wanted to.
I've heard great things about it. It's on Amazon Prime.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
I remember the monsters in this movie being badass, dude.
Yeah. You've seen it, Hugh?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. It's pretty good. My kid, one of my kids used to like it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not, I wouldn't call it like a 10 out of 10, but it's definitely like an 8.
Yeah,
it's
very
a fun
movie.
sort of like Edgar Wright type movie, right? It's kind of
You got Nick Frost
Nick Frost in it, and yeah.
Hell yeah, this movie's. I haven't watched it in a while too. It gives me. This is like the. Do you remember this one, Josh? This is the first movie that I bought without realizing I was buying a Region 2, and this is why I got a Region free player.
Yeah, I see the little logo down there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
this was Edgar Wright was the executive producer.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
no kidding, huh? Nice.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's a great flick, man. I really enjoyed it. What's the guy's name in it? The Star Wars dude?
John Boyega.
Boyega.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's really
snap.
good.
That's him. Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh.
I think he got hired for Star Wars off this movie. If I remember right.
That wouldn't surprise me, dude. The monsters are so dope in this movie because they're so weird looking.
Man, he was a kid then.
Yeah.
Very young. Very young. This movie feels like it's like a UK, like not quite Goonies, but like that kind of. The kids have to band together and stomp the shit out some monsters. It's
right.
Did any of y'all watch Kids vs. Aliens?
Mm-mm.
No.
It's so I didn't know what it was. Like I kept seeing it at the theater, and I was like, "What? Why would people like grown ass men were walking in to see this movie like with their friend?" And I was like, "Why?" And so then I figured out what it was. It's a VHS. Those movies, VHS 94, all that stuff. That's why it was so familiar to me because it's like a cut from one of those, and they made a whole movie out of it. It's like 80 minutes. It's pretty short.
Okay.
But dude, it's like if a Nickelodeon kid movie had like cursing and violence in it. It's awesome, dude. It's so silly. And the bad guy in it is just such a shithead. He's just he's so unlikable. Oh man. But it has that like, Goonies type feel.
Mm-hmm.
Action adventure horror type thing. It's a great Halloween movie. Good one to watch with the kiddos. I'm like, I can't remember if it's rated R or not, but it's a good movie.
Cool.
Sweet.
I've never heard about
Yeah,
it.
that was a surprising pick to hear you come up with. I was not expecting that kind of movie from you.
I promised after the Wong Kar-wai movie that I would pick something more fun.
Well, it's appreciated because I love that movie, man. It's a really good one. Awesome. Well, this is a shorter episode tonight. We can get out of here if y'all need to.
Yeah.
Before we go, did anybody happen to watch anything new this week? I've been real tight on time, so I haven't got to watch hardly anything.
I watched Guardians 3.
I did watch Guardians 3. I never made a video for it, but I watched it.
I liked it a lot.
Top 5 Marvel movie for me.
Again, it's got problems. I think it really just depends on if you still care. I mean, I think this, like the Guardians, is one of the few things left in Marvel that I care about. And even though I didn't like the second movie that much, I was like, man,
I didn't like it at all.
Like I wanted this to be good, but I didn't have very high expectations for it. Like after Thor Ragnarok, that kind of went silly, and then the last Thor movie that went super silly and sucked. Like I just like, man, I don't know what to think about this, and it was awesome. This was a return to form for Marvel, I think, even though it's got problems and. Yeah, but like every Marvel movie's got problems. I feel like
I genuinely think I put it in my top 5 Marvel movies, dude. It's when I left the theater, I was like kind of almost like I'm not gonna say irritated, but I was like I kind of was irritated. I was like, dude, I don't want to get invested in this Marvel universe again, man. Like that was such a good movie. I will say, you know what, y'all two haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'll talk to you privately, Chris, about it.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much. I just like
there's one thing about it that I'll tell you in a little bit, Chris. It drove me freaking nuts, but otherwise, solid flick, dude.
Yeah, just like I kind of took this as almost the last hurrah for Marvel. I think like it's going in a direction where it's got so much different stuff. Like I feel like it's almost kind of like walking into a comic book shop. You're not going to walk into a comic book shop and buy every single comic on the shelf. You're gonna, I like this one and I like this one. I'll pick up these two, and the rest, I don't.
I see what you're saying. So, like, you don't watch every Marvel movie now. You just watch the one story you care about.
Yeah, I think they've got stuff like She-Hulk and the new Miss Marvel, Miss Marvel and the Marvels, and
I can't explain how much I don't like any of that crap.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that, but that's not made for us. So
you're probably right. It's not.
I don't need to watch it. I don't need to care about it. I can care about the Guardians, or I can care about, I don't know. There ain't much else. Like Moon Knight, I really like. Hopefully that comes back and does good. But yeah, you don't have to like every single thing. So I feel like this was just kind of the last, like, all right, kind of old Marvel out. We'll see what they do next.
Yeah, I liked this movie quite. Like I'm not a Marvel fan at this point, and I was really impressed by it. The freaking music, dude, like it just keeps getting really better and better. I'm like, who in the hell is picking all these songs out? How much is that? How much is that costing?
Yeah, it's all James Gunn.
Is it?
Yeah.
Bro, that guy must have a crazy library of music, man.
Yeah, and at the end of 2, he gets the Zune, so he's got a little bit newer stuff in this one.
Yeah, I heard there's some like Radiohead and stuff like that.
It opens with Creep.
Yeah.
The opening of this movie was fantastic, actually. Yeah, I hope you guys watch it so we can talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I was trying to go see it on Monday, but Tori was off, and we ended up going to pick up Nathan from school because there was like a fake gun threat or something.
What?
Yeah, it ended up being a hoax, but everyone
dude, what is wrong with people? Why would you hoax that?
Yeah, it was some social media thing.
Dude, that makes me so angry.
But yeah, we ended up picking them up from school at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're like, I was trying to get everybody to go see Guardians, and nobody wanted to go, so I didn't get to go. But I have heard enough good things about it that I kind of want to.
Yeah, it is the best. I mean, I know you didn't necessarily care for the new Spider-Man that much, but I'll just say it's by far the best thing since Endgame or Spider-Man No Way Home.
Man, yeah, Spider-Man movies are good.
People like James Gunn, those are the ones that are doing interesting stuff inside that framework. They've got their own voice, and like so many of them, they just feel like here's this little box and just play inside this box. And
I would be so not confident if I was asked to do a Marvel movie and I wasn't somebody like James Gunn, or Taika Waititi or something like that. I'd have to be somebody that commands their own. They got their own audience and fan base already anyway, so they're gonna get people to watch it just because they made it. So they got a lot more leash. And if you're not one of those people, they're like, here, we want you to make this movie, but we want you to make this movie. Yeah. Here's the box. You got to make sure it fits in that box.
If you look at a lot of the directors that they've hired, they're like usually like they made one feature and it was really like a good, competently made indie movie, and then they snatch them up real quick. So they know they've got someone that knows how to make a movie, but they're young enough and inexperienced enough and don't have enough of a voice yet, that they can mold them to do whatever they want.
Right.
You think it makes them jaded and hate Marvel after the fact?
No, I think they get big paychecks.
Paid. Yeah, but I was gonna say
I wasn't even thinking about the money.
I think the bigger name director thing could go one or the other way. It could go the Taika Waititi way, where you make something and it's just terrible.
You mean the Zack Snyder way?
The last Thor movie. I mean, I was at Love and Thunder is probably worse than most of Zack Snyder's.
Yeah, well, I have the luxury of not seeing that movie, so I don't know. But I liked Ragnarok a lot. So
right. I left that comic on the shelf.
Exactly. Yeah. I saw it. And it was definitely
it took me like 5 seconds to get it, but I got it. I got it there.
Awesome. No, I was happy with the way they handled it. I'll just say that.
Okay. Anybody gonna go see Fast 10 next week?
No,
me neither.
I might. I don't know.
I watched those.
Honestly, it's probably gonna be a pretty stupid, silly movie. I'll probably
those movies are guilty pleasures for me. I think they're so stupid that they make me laugh.
I love that you watch those.
Shove popcorn in my face and be like, "Yeah, that was really dumb."
Yeah, I was like watching the trailer, and he like jumps a car that's got chains on it, and that car is heavy enough for somehow to make 2 helicopters slam into each other. And I was like,
man, they went to space in the last one.
Did they really?
Yeah, they go to space.
They did not.
They went into space.
I saw the Antarctica
one.
They didn't have like a fight in space, but yeah, no, they launch a car into space at one point or something. Yeah, I actually didn't see it, but
all right, he's in.
No, I just don't. No, I'm not. I'm not at all. Like I don't understand it. Like whatever.
I never saw it, but I heard about this.
Dude, it's totally like just big budget, like old Arnold Schwarzenegger, like me.
It kind of is, huh?
Me dumb, you know, like muscle movie, you know.
Yeah, smash cars.
It kind of is actually. Now you're making me want to go watch it.
Yeah, I think they're super silly.
Shit, I have to watch that now. Oh man, that means I gotta watch like 5 more of them because I didn't catch the last 6.
Yeah, I think I burnt myself out around like 6 or 7. Which one was Ronda Rousey in?
They went like Tokyo Drift, and I was like, I'm out. So I haven't seen one since.
Was that the one that I think that's the one that Paul Walker died in, right?
Man,
I think
I've probably seen Tokyo Drift 20 times.
Have you really liked that one?
I like that movie a lot.
I think that's the only one I haven't seen.
I was just talking crap. I haven't watched it. I don't know if it's any good or not. I just thought it was weird that they went to a different direction. But I heard it was actually a good movie. Yeah. But it's the only one with a different cast, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
But he comes in later, I think, the main dude from it.
Oh, really?
I think so. I think they bring him in
the very end. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Josh has got me looking at him from like in a completely different light. It makes me want to watch them just because they're so dumb.
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen almost all of them.
Yeah, like I think I enjoyed all of them I watched.
Yeah,
but I think I just got a little burnout and was just like, okay, yeah, I've had enough.
Dude, my boss was telling me, like, he's like, dude, he's like, look, I know you think that that Guardians had a big opening. He's like, you don't understand. He's like, just wait until Fast Furious comes out. And I was like, what? Yeah, and I was like, you're kidding me. He goes, no, you don't understand, dude. He's like, and Guardians will still be here. It'll only be on his 3rd week. He's like, we're going to be so busy, dude. He's like, you don't understand. He's like, you think you're tired. You're going to be so exhausted. He's like, you want that Friday night? I'll probably give you that Friday night. I was like, I don't know if I want that.
What?
Yeah, I was like, I like money, but I like my knees better. Like,
yeah.
We officially, you know what? I'll talk to you about it in a second. Let's get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys on the next movie night. We'll be back next week, episode 130. And we're watching, already forgot what it was called.
Attack the Block.
Attack the Block. Got it. All right, everybody. Thanks, man. Have a good night. Peace.